The unfolding of Clara's thank you. Decades after the Kindertransport train pulled into London, Clara's hands were no longer those of a frightened 11-year-old. They were the hands of a woman who had spent a lifetime nurturing. She now knelt in her own garden, a tranquil space that smelled of earth and old roses. Her deep-set eyes, which held the quiet history of a continent, watched the frost recede. Sometimes, as she worked, a memory would flash. A new room, a strange bed, and a gentle woman, Mrs. Albright, who had knelt down and tapped her own chest before tapping Clara's. "Home," she'd said. "Here." That simple, silent gesture was the first, impossible seed planted in a new life. Now it was Clara's turn to plant seeds of welcome. She volunteered at the local community center, a place where people who carried their whole worlds in worn backpacks found a temporary harbor. One young man, Musa, sat alone at the edge of the room, his eyes distant, holding a sorrow Clara knew by heart. Musa had traveled for 1,000 desperate miles, a refugee with a story of smoke and sudden silence. His own father's words echoed in his mind, just as Clara's once had. "Don't forget the impossible things, my son." The impossible thing he carried was the gaping hole where his village used to be. Clara did not ask him to speak. Instead, she lifted her own hand, showing him the thin silver ring she had worn for 80 years. A tiny, impossible thing that had survived the unpacking of her own suitcase. She spoke slowly, allowing the simple English words to settle like stones. "Yes," she said, "thank you." Then, mirroring Mrs. Albright's ancient gesture, she pointed to her chest and said the third word, "Home." It was the language of the lost and the found, a quiet code passed through generations of survival. Musa felt the shock of recognition. He didn't need to know the name of her country or the date of her journey, only the echo of shared displacement. He saw the 11-year-old girl behind the silver hair, and in that simple cup of tea, he understood the message of the chipped teapot. That day, Musa finally spoke more than a hesitant answer. He spoke the name of the river near his home, the name of his mother's favorite flower, and the impossible thing he had carried, the fierce, stubborn hope that kindness could still be found in the world. The world is full of broken pieces, Clara knew, but a shared cup of warmth, a quiet word of welcome, a moment of deep human recognition, these were the impossible things that become the glue. They are the voices of love, echoing across every wall and every border. And so, Clara continues to share her simple offering, teaching others that the greatest tribute to a survivor's past is not just to remember, but to build a safe, loving future, one welcoming gesture at a time. The suitcase is unpacked, but the story of thank you is forever unfolding, lighting the way for all who follow.